Let's go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I am going to be attempting to swap my phone screen time with a reading for a week. I did this video about a year ago and one of my favorite books of all time came out of it. You guys already know Archer's Voice. Since that video though, I've been getting a ton of requests to do it again. I kind of put it off for a little bit because I just didn't have a lot to work with when it came to my phone screen time, because since that video I actually have been doing so good with staying off my phone more, and unfortunately your girl has definitely been struggling with that again, because here I am sitting here today doing this video. I fell back into my old ways and I wound up spending a lot of time on my phone over the past month. So here we are. We are going to be swapping that phone screen time with reading in today's video to hopefully get me back on track with staying off my phone more. Personally, I just don't feel very productive or good about myself when I spend that much time on my phone. I just feel like I'm wasting my life away, to be completely honest, if I'm just scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. That is the whole point of today's video. Get off my phone and do something else. Do something better with my time, like reading, which I absolutely love. And I've picked out some incredible ones for this reading vlog specifically. I am so excited about them. We do have a couple summer reads in here as well, so the vibes are going to be amazing. I'm also going to be fully exposing myself to you guys in this video as well, because I'm going to be sharing with you how much time I spend on my phone, but also what apps kind of go into that. I promise this is going to be a super fun reading vlog, and my hope for it is that it also motivates you guys to maybe spend less time on your phone, read more, go outside more. But anyways, grab a snack, a drink, get comfy, and let's hop into it. So first things first, we are going to dive right into my screen time analytics and talk about how much time I spend on my phone in a week, but also dive into what apps I'm spending the most time on. Honestly, I am a bit nervous to find out what is taking up so much of my time on my phone, because I'd like to think that it's YouTube, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos on my phone, but something's making me nervous that it's not going to be YouTube. I am looking at my screen time from May 28th to June 4th. This was one of my worst screen time weeks, I think, in a really long time, and the total amount of hours I spent on my phone that week was 35 hours and 28 minutes. That is so close to 2 full days on my phone. Just think about that. My average time on my phone for that week was 5 hours and 4 minutes. My most used app that week was Instagram with a total of 9 hours. So Instagram is the culprit, apparently. My second most used app was YouTube with 6 hours and 20 minutes, which I feel like is okay, because again, on YouTube, I'm just kind of watching videos and stuff, so I feel like that's a little bit better. And then my third most used app was TikTok with 2 hours and 31 minutes, which, if you think about it, it doesn't seem like a lot of time, because I literally spent 9 hours on Instagram, which is crazy. But 2 hours and 31 minutes on TikTok is almost crazier than that, because the videos on TikTok are what, between 15 to 30 seconds. So how many videos did I watch? That is basically the average of my week, a total of 35 hours and 28 minutes. That is so crazy to me. I cannot believe it. You know, I do 24-hour readathons on my channel all the time, so 24 hours isn't a crazy thing for me, but 35 hours, an extra 11 hours, a little nervous. So I already have some incredible books picked out for today's vlog. I have 2 summer reads from my June TBR that I am so excited to read. I have My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This is supposed to be a murder mystery romance, so I thought it'd be really fun to try out. And then I also have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I haven't picked up an Emily Henry book in almost a year, so I'm very nervous for this one, because I didn't really like the first book I read by her. So many people have been raving about this book, so I have to see what the hype is about. Then I have Imagine Me and Believe Me by Tara Maffey. These are the last books in the Shatter Me series. And then I also picked out Wrecked by Lauren Asher. This is book 3 in the Dirty Air series, and I've been on a Lauren Asher kick lately. I love her writing style so much. I love her characters, her storyline. Before we hop into it, I just want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Clean My Mac X. Although the whole point of today's video is to cut down on screen time, technology is still a huge huge necessity in my everyday life, as it is for so many of us. I use my laptop daily for work. You guys already know. I literally spend hours editing, creating thumbnails, uploading to YouTube, and so much more. With that being said, my Mac gets very disorganized very fast. I have a ton of clutter on my MacBook from previous projects. I get so overwhelmed when it comes time to clean my Mac at the end of the month. Don't even get me started on my downloads folder, because that is a total nightmare. Cleaning my MacBook is honestly the thing I dread most at the end of every month when I'm preparing for my monthly resets. But Clean My Mac X takes the stress out of cleaning my Mac. It literally does it all for me. If you're not familiar with Clean My Mac X, if you've never heard of it before, it's basically a one-click solution to getting your Mac back to running like new. It makes cleaning your Mac as easy as literally turning on your laptop. There's just one button for those of us who are pressed for time. One button for the complete Mac care. How it works is SmartScan does the cleanup, malware removal, and speed up all in one combo, and it takes about 2 minutes to polish up even a dead slow Mac. Clean My Mac X is also notarized by Apple, which means Apple went in directly and checked the app for malicious code and found it perfectly safe. If you're like me and you get stressed when it comes time to declutter your Mac, you can use my link down below to get a 7-day free trial of Clean My Mac X and get your MacBook back to running like new. Okay guys, so we are gonna start off with Monday. I spent a total of 6 hours and 40 minutes on my phone. The app I spent the most time on was actually YouTube, with a total of 1 hour and 42 minutes. Today we're gonna read for a total of 6 hours and 40 minutes. That is on like the longer side when it comes to reading for me. I typically read around like maybe 3 hours every day. I usually read in the mornings when I wake up and then at night before I'm going to bed. So I think like a 7-hour reading day is pretty hefty for me unless I'm doing like a 24-hour readathon. But I decided to start us with Imagine Me by Tara Mafi. This is book 6 in the Shatter Me series. It's supposed to wrap up the whole story of Juliet, Warner, Kenji, Adam. We're supposed to see how it all ends. I am so excited. If you're not familiar with the Shatter Me series, it mainly revolves around Juliet, and her touch is like lethal, so she can't touch people. The series, like for the most part, revolves around her and trying to figure out her powers and where she came from, stuff like that. It takes place in a dystopian world. There's basically like this higher power. They're called the Reestablishment, and they've been remodeling the world. Basically, they're trying to destroy all the languages, all the history. They're basically the bad guys in the story. And so also Juliet is trying to figure out how to fight back against them. All this crazy stuff happens in these books that is just, it's so crazy. And I recently found out that the first 3 books in the series were just supposed to be like the only books, and then Tara Mafi came back like a few years later and added on to the series. I am so happy that she did, because although I love like the core 3 books, the books that come after them just make the storyline incredible, like absolutely incredible. I love this series so much. I could not recommend it enough. So I thought it'd be really fun to wrap it up in this video. I'm nervous to see what happens in this because I usually don't like the last books in a series. The end of the series, which I don't like to begin with, the endings of series aren't how I want them to end. Like, I'm usually left very disappointed, basically. Although I'm nervous, I have very high hopes. I think Tara Mafi is an incredible author. Okay, we're gonna hop right into it. Something I absolutely love about the Shatter Me series and Tara Mafi as like a whole, she writes in such a poetic type of style. A lot of the times in these books there's a lot of repetition. I don't know, she just writes like the prettiest line, and it just makes my heart like I've made quite the dent so far. What's happening is like not what I expected to happen, to be completely honest. I'm like a bit frustrated, but I'm still loving the story. I'm not going too crazy with like the highlighting and stuff in this one, but I did highlight and tab this one page. It was very early on. It was on page 14, and it was just like the sweetest little exchange between Juliet and Warner. It like made my heart so happy, and it gave me like all those happy butterflies. I had to tab it. I just hit page 91, and we still have like quite some time to go, but nonetheless I'm loving it. We're gonna keep going, see what happens. I'm like super nervous. I don't know how to feel right now. Okay guys, it's a little bit later. I just got home from the gym. I kind of like spread out the 6 hours today because I just had a few things and a few errands I had to run. But we just finished up our 6 hours and a 40-minute timer for reading today. I feel like it went okay, but I definitely had weak moments where I like randomly would pick up my phone, and not proud of it. It wasn't like too bad. It's not like I picked up my phone and like stayed on it for hours and hours, but I just found myself out of habit picking up my phone to like scroll and like check my social medias. Other than that though, everything went pretty good. We made it really far. We're on page 363 of this book. I only have this itty bit left, and I'm so tempted to finish it tonight, but I'm going to save it until tomorrow because I think after this we're gonna jump into Believe Me, which is the novella and officially the last book in the Shatter Me series. I have to say, this is definitely not how I expected the last book to go. I think I had like a different storyline in mind. I don't know what exactly. I didn't think this was going to happen. It's very interesting, the events that have happened in this book. The crazy turn of events that have happened in this book just really caught me off guard. I love the dual point of view. I love Kenji's character. Honestly, he's my favorite in like this entire series right now. I do still adore Juliet's character, but it's so hard to explain without spoiling it because it's literally the 6th book in the series, so I can't say too much without spoiling it for you guys. But I still adore Juliet's character. It's just in this book specifically, I don't really like, I don't know how to explain it. I could honestly do without the weird point of view we get from her in this book. If you've already read this series and you've read this book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, Juliet's point of view is very weird to me in this, and I can't tell if I like it or not. Overall though, I am enjoying like the big plot twist in this. Like, I think it's good, but it's just a lot to process. I feel like we don't have a lot left to read, and it makes me nervous on how this is going to wrap up. I feel like it's gonna wrap up too fast and I'm going to be disappointed. But that wraps up our first night of reading. I think we did a great job. We almost finished this book. I'm honestly kind of surprised because it's a pretty chunky one. That is it for our Monday reading, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday night. We are gonna be finishing up Imagine Me tonight. Do you guys hear that? They're literally doing construction outside my home right now. They start it at like 8 p.m. every night. How does that make sense? When people are literally going to bed, they're going to start construction. Anyways, we are going to be wrapping up Imagine Me tonight, and then we're also going to be starting Believe Me. This is just a short little novella, so I can't imagine it will take us that long, but I'm very excited, also kind of sad, because we are wrapping up the Shatter Me series. We're saying goodbye to these characters. For our Tuesday reading, we have 3 hours and 41 minutes. My most used app that day was TikTok with a total of 1 hour and 12 minutes. Not too bad, to be completely honest. I mean, being on TikTok for over an hour is kind of ridiculous, but what are you gonna do? We are going to be tackling these 2 books tonight. I am so excited. We are gonna hop right into it and find out how this series ends. I can't believe we have finished the Shatter Me series. I feel like I need a few days to actually process what I just read. I guess we'll start with Imagine Me. I liked it. I wasn't obsessed with it. I think it's just because it's the last book in the series. I really don't like the final book in a book series because that just means it's the end and I get really sad. I feel like that was just something I had in the back of my mind the entire time while reading this. I wound up giving it a 4-star rating. I really enjoyed it. I thought the plot twist in it was absolutely insane and I enjoyed it. I really liked Kenji's point of view in this, not so much Juliet's. I feel like it was just kind of weird. The little twist that the author put on Juliet's point of view in this really threw me off. I can't decide if I liked it or not. It really drove me crazy, to be quite honest, because these characters have been through so much in these 6 books and the craziness that they went through in book 6 just drove me insane. I like how it wrapped up, but at the same time I do feel like it was a little bit rushed. I wish there was more to the ending, or I wish we had more to work with. I feel like throughout the entire book all this crazy stuff happened and then it's immediately fixed within like a few chapters, and I kind of didn't like that part of it. But nonetheless, I still really enjoyed it. Jumped in to Believe Me, which is the novella right after Imagine Me and officially the last book in the Shatter Me series. This is just really all the closure we wanted after Imagine Me. We get to see all our favorite characters one more time. It was definitely a really cute and sweet read. I am forever an Aaron Warner girly. I also rated this 4 stars. It's really hard because I can't talk too much about these books without giving away spoilers. They are the last books in the series, so it's just impossible for me to say too much about them without spoiling it. But I could not recommend the Shatter Me series enough. It is literally one of my favorite book series of all time. I'm like so sad that I finished this series. I don't even know what to do with myself right now. I guess I could always start rereading them. That is it for our Tuesday night reading. I'm pretty exhausted, so I'm going to head to bed and I'll see you guys in the morning.
Absent thought, maybe I should take you up on that ride, 'cause I'm out of my mind. And it's a little too late, there's just enough time. If we let it all out, could I swallow my pride? And I should just walk home, but we're both scared of being alone. And that's how you throw it all away in a small town. Everybody's talking 'cause they know now. Everybody's talking 'cause they know now. And it's a slow burn, playing in your mind like a rerun. I've been trying to hide it, but I can't run from the way I feel when you're next to me. Quiet type said it's a bad time. I tried to call back, got your mom on the line. Is it just me? I hate how this feels to have to be fake, but the fake feels so real. Guess I should have known that you'd never call me back. And that's how you throw it all away in a small town. Everybody's talking 'cause they know now. Everybody's talking 'cause they know now. And it's a slow burn, playing in your mind like a rerun. I've been trying to hide it, but I can't run from the way I feel when you're next to me.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. We were able to get outside a little bit today before the huge rainstorm came in. I'm very happy about that. And I wound up starting 2 books today. I started Wrecked by Lauren Asher and Happy Place by Emily Henry. Really quick before I jump into these 2 incredible books, I am already obsessing over them. Our total reading time for Wednesday is 3 hours and 50 minutes, which isn't that bad. I feel like I typically read around 3-4 hours every day already. I started with Wrecked by Lauren Asher. This is book 3 in the Dirty Air series, and it basically revolves around F1 drivers and finding love. I love Lauren Asher books. I've been getting so into them lately. I started with her Dreamland Billionaire series and I completed it. I couldn't help myself. I had to move on and see what the Dirty Air series was all about. So it's book 3. It tells the story of Jax and Elena. Jax is like this British bad boy who is an F1 driver because he's been causing a lot of trouble. He's been getting into a lot of trouble. His team president basically hired Elena to come in and keep Jax in check for the season, because if he keeps getting into trouble, he's going to kind of mess up everything for the team as a whole. So they're like, okay, we need to bring someone else in to keep him under control. That's where Elena comes in, and she is like the sweetest person in this book. I absolutely adore her. I'm on chapter 10 right now. It's so good. This book is incredible so far. I'm already loving Jax and Elena's like dynamic, but I wound up putting it down and starting Happy Place because this book starts off like very heavy. It starts off by kind of giving us a background into Elena's past, but also Jax's. It just starts off really heavy, and so I didn't want to get like too deep into it because I could tell this is going to be like a book that definitely tugs at my heartstrings. I wound up picking up Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is her newest book that just came out. She's like the queen of like witty romances. She comes out with amazing summer romances. I originally read People We Meet on Vacation by her a year ago, and I didn't really vibe with it. It wasn't my favorite. I wound up not picking up any other books by her for a very long time. When I saw so many people talking about this book, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give Happy Place a chance, see if it's different this time. I'm actually so happy I picked this book up. I made it to chapter 12, page 124. I am obsessed with Wynne and Harriet's story. I was a little nervous at first. The first chapter or two is it was very slow and kind of bland for me. I think that was my problem with People We Meet on Vacation. It just started very slow and I never got into it. But with this one, it only took like a chapter or two and I was immediately sucked in. I just love this so much. It does go between time periods. So we're kind of getting a look into Harriet and Wynne's relationship, how they met, how they got together all those years ago, and then we're seeing them in real time and basically seeing what caused them to drift apart and separate. I'm loving this though. I haven't been going crazy with my highlighting and tabbing, but I did tab this one page in Happy Place. I tabbed page 81 when Harriet and Wynne were just getting to know each other. It was so cute. I just loved that entire chapter so much. Now I'm on chapter 12, Real Life. I honestly want to keep going. Like, I want to keep reading today because I just want to know what happens in this, but I know I shouldn't. I can tell that these two books are definitely going to be some of my favorite books ever. We've only made like the smallest dent in them, but I am already loving these so very much. It's Thursday! Welcome to Thursday night. Yeah, I have been putting this off all day long, to be completely honest, because Thursday is another heavy reading. It's so late and I'm starting this, but we are going to be okay. We're gonna get through it. For today, our reading goal is 6 hours in 16 minutes. My most used app on that day was Instagram with 2 hours and 20 minutes. In second, I have YouTube with 1 hour and 8 minutes, and then underneath that, I have the YouTube Studio with 42 minutes. I honestly don't know what I do on my phone all day. I don't understand how I spent almost an hour in the YouTube Studio. Anyways, it is Thursday. We are going to be reading for about 6 hours. It is nighttime, so it's gonna be a very long night. We are going to try and finish up these two books today. I have Wrecked by Lauren Asher and Happy Place by Emily Henry. I started these yesterday and they were absolutely incredible. I did go ahead and read like a chapter or two in both of these because I couldn't help myself. And I actually started reading Wrecked on my Kindle last night when I was going to bed, and I was like, oh, I should stop because I'm gonna finish the book. I may have read a big chunk of this. Honestly, my favorite thing to do when I'm going to bed is to pull out my Kindle and just read until I get tired, but a lot of the times it kind of backfires and I find myself reading until like 5 a.m. Anyways, we are gonna hop into it because I have 6 hours to read. Crazy saying that right now because I'm already so tired. So I don't know how this is gonna go. We'll see what happens. I forgot I left off on like such a good part. I'm like so happy right now. I really don't think I will ever recover from this book. 5 stars. 5 stars. Honestly, if I could, 1,000,000 stars. I think I'm just in shock. Like, I think I need time to process this. I'm mostly in shock that I enjoyed this so much because I really did not like the first book I read by her at all. And I never thought I would really get into Emily Henry books because the first book I read, People We Meet on Vacation, the writing style was just really weird for me. I think maybe I just wasn't mature of a reader at the time to really appreciate it, so maybe I have to go back and reread that to see if my opinion changed or not on it. But I just remember not liking that story, not liking the writing style. I couldn't get into it. It was the complete opposite reading this. Like, I think I am literally turning into an Emily Henry girly now. Never thought that would happen. Never thought I would get into her books after the first one I read. Wynne and Harriet have my heart. This might be one of my favorite books of the year so far, to be completely honest. This was absolutely incredible. It got me in all the feels. Harriet and Wynne's relationship throughout this entire story, like the ups and downs, it just really got me. This made my heart so happy, and it's my happy place. And I can definitely see myself rereading this already. I annotated the heck out of this book. I have so many cute little quotes that, like this one, I went crazy. There were just so many sweet moments between Harriet and Wynne that I had to mark and like save in my memory because it was so sweet. This is absolutely incredible. I could not recommend this enough. I think it is an incredible read, especially for the summertime. I love the whole fake dating aspect of it. I love the second chance in it. Usually I'm not too big on the second chance trope, but this one really got me. And it's so funny because I remember not liking the second chance trope in People We Meet on Vacation, but I was also very new to it. So now I feel like I have to go back and reread that book to see if my opinion is different on it. I'm just so happy and content right now with this. I still have like a good 3 hours left. I'm going to wrap up Wrecked by Lauren Asher. This is another book that I am just absolutely obsessed with right now. Jax and Elena's relationship is so sweet. I love the enemies to lovers, the forced proximity. This is absolutely adorable. I'm really excited to see what happens and where this goes. Okay guys, I just finished up Wrecked by Lauren Asher. 5 stars. Another 5-star read in today's video. I am so obsessed with this story and these characters and this whole universe, honestly. I've been so big on Lauren Asher lately. I've fallen in love with all of her books. I am quickly falling in love with the Dirty Air series. Jax and Elena are probably my favorite couple as of right now. Wrecked has my entire heart. I love this storyline. I love these characters. I love how authentic they feel. I don't know, this one just felt really different compared to the other 2 I read in the series. I definitely like sobbed towards the end. I was very sad and then very happy. It's definitely tugged at my heartstrings, but I absolutely loved every moment of it. I loved like the entire story. I love the banter between Jax and Elena. They are absolutely hilarious. I just loved watching them tear each other's walls down and help each other, and this was so good. I highly recommend, if you haven't read a Lauren Asher book yet, what are you doing? She is absolutely incredible. She's probably one of my favorite authors of 2023. But that ends our Thursday night reading. I am on the verge of losing my voice, so that's great. I am going to head to bed now because it is very late and I'm exhausted. Happy Friday, everybody. We have made it to the last day in our reading vlog, and we're gonna talk Friday analytics. Also, can you tell I'm just living in this crew net? For Friday, our reading time is 5 hours and 26 minutes. A little bit on the high end for me, but it's okay. The book we're gonna be tackling is My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This is like a murder mystery mixed with the romance. I just love the way she writes romance. I read It Happened One Summer last year and I absolutely love that book. It took a little bit of time for me to get into it. It was a very slow start. I think it took like a good 100 pages before I really liked it. But nonetheless, there's something about her writing style and her characters that I really enjoy. This is a romance between a bounty hunter and like a kindergarten teacher, I think. They are trying to solve a little murder mystery together. So I thought we would try and tackle this one today. Gives off all the summery vibes. I don't think I've really seen too much on this book. Like I haven't seen too many people review it or talk about it. So I'm going into it completely blind. And it is on the shorter side. So hopefully we can finish it today. We're starting My Killer Vacation today and we're gonna hop right into it. Hello everybody, long time no chat. I filmed this video like 2 weeks ago. I was going through editing it, getting ready to upload, and I was like, oh, I never reviewed My Killer Vacation for you guys, and I also never ended out the video. So here we are, 2 weeks later, going to talk about My Killer Vacation. My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This was like an itty bitty read. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was very insta-lovey, and it's not usually my favorite trope when it comes to books, but this was pretty funny. It's like a murder mystery romance. It's not like too heavy on the murder mystery, but it is like there. Like you have it in the back of your mind while reading this, wondering like what happened, who did it, this and that. This was funny. I liked this a lot. I thought it was very cute. It's about, I think, a 3rd grade teacher or something and how she goes on vacation in Cape Cod. She comes across a body, I guess you could say. Miles, the bounty hunter, comes about trying to figure out the murder mystery. Taylor is like all for it. She wants to help him figure it out. She's super big in crime podcasts. It's like her favorite thing. She feels like she's always kind of lived inside a little bubble and she really just wants to like be a part of something big, I guess you could say. So she helps Miles throughout the story kind of uncover the murder mystery. It's a very grumpy meets sunshine type of vibe, I think, personally. There's an enemies to lovers in here. It was honestly like a cutesy, insta-lovey type of romance. First half of it was really slow for me. I wasn't really getting into it, but I feel like that's just the thing when it comes to Tessa Bailey books for me. It takes me like at least 100 pages to really get into her stories, and then I end up loving it. But yeah, 3 stars. It was insta-lovey, not my favorite, but it was pretty funny. It was very rom-com-y. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and bearing with me while I finish it, like 2 weeks in the making here. I am back from Colorado though. I'm back from vacation and I am so excited because I have some exciting videos planned. Summer vlogs are on their way. Comment down below if you think you would be able to swap your screen time with reading for a week. It's a lot of reading to do in 1 week, especially if I'm not doing just a normal 24-hour readathon vlog. This is definitely a little bit more difficult than those just because I'm not used to reading for over like 24 hours. It's a lot of reading time. I know everyone's screen time ranges from high to low. I'm working on mine being on the lower side. So, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you in my next video.
And that's